undergraduate recruitment and programs advisor in the Edwards School of Business. But generally speaking, the Bachelor of Commerce is what students are applying to. That's the degree program that we offer. So the admission requirements for the Bachelor of Commerce are to meet the minimum average. Our target average for this year is a 75%. And that's just the admission average. So that's the 5-grade average that admissions calculates. And we don't have any course requirements that are strictly required for admission, but we do recommend that students have one of Foundations of Math 30 or Pre-Calculus 30. We would specifically recommend Pre-Calculus 30 because it does give you a good calculus foundation for the calculus math class that you take as a requirement for the Bachelor of Commerce. So the Bachelor of Commerce is the four-year degree program that we offer. It's built to be a 4-year degree like traditional university degrees, but most of our students are completing in an average of 5 to 6 years because they're taking advantage of different things that go on throughout the program. The first 2 years of the program are foundational business years. So you're getting all of that foundational business knowledge. The majority of students in the first 2 years are taking the same set of classes. And then in the final 2 years, you're specializing in your area of major. So there's specific courses required for each of our major areas, and you spend your time completing those requirements. For the Bachelor of Commerce, we have 6 majors for students to choose from: accounting, finance, marketing, management, human resources, and supply chain management. And you would specialize in your area of major in your second year of the Bachelor of Commerce. The same time that you're specializing in your major, we also have the opportunity for students to apply for a co-op program. So a co-op is a work placement or work experience that you can do to get that knowledge, understand what it is to work in the business that you're interested in. So students apply for co-op. It's an 8-month work placement. They go out to work in January of the 3rd year, and January work to the end of August and come back to school in September. There are opportunities to extend that co-op placement, but typically speaking, it's 8 months. It's fully paid, and you could go almost anywhere on your co-op. We have a lot of students that stay locally in Saskatoon and Saskatchewan, but we've sent students all over Western Canada, out to Ontario, and some have gone internationally as well. So lots of opportunity for really great work experience in the co-op. We find the placements for the students. We have a dedicated staff in our career services office that work to develop work placements for the co-op program. But if a student has a connection with a business that they're family owned and they want to work there, or they have friends that are connected with local businesses or big companies, we can set up an opportunity for a co-op placement. Or if they are just like, this business sounds really cool, it's always something I thought I might be interested in doing, I'd really like to work there, we can reach out and see if they'd be interested in accommodating a co-op student. So there's really no limit to where students can go and the experience that they can get. I like to tell students that when it comes to finding jobs, you are limited only by your own imagination. And I say that mostly because there are so many jobs and different places that you can work and things that you can do that you will never even realize exist or are an option or an opportunity until you're out working and you're in the industry. You want to be creative, you want to follow different opportunities that are available to you. No career is super linear. It's rare that happens. I mean, it does happen, and people will spend their careers in one place doing kind of the same thing. But more often than not, you're going to, and especially in the business world, things will continue to evolve and change rapidly. So being able to see those changes coming, be adaptable, and not being afraid to make a pivot in your career if that's what's going to take for you to find something that is a good fit and what's going to make you happy in the long run. Great students for the business program are students who are driven. They are motivated, self-motivated, and want to be part of a community. In Edwards, we put a lot of emphasis on doing things together, and we're only ever as successful when we're communicating, part of this community, and participating things together. So someone who's a team player, who isn't afraid of a little bit of group work, and even if you are, it's okay, we'll teach you how to get better at it. And just someone who really wants to be part of this community and be part of building a better business community, and being part of that team. We'll teach you all of the practical skills that you need: public speaking, group work, all of that sort of stuff. You can learn that in our program, but when you're coming in, someone interested, motivated, wants to make a difference, and wants to do that through studying business. So there are technically no specific high school requirements, class requirements to get into the Bachelor of Commerce. You obviously need to take the courses that are required for you to graduate and be admissible to university. So you need to have at least one senior level English, senior level math, and then your other subject areas. As far as classes go, specific classes, if your school offers any business related courses, so accounting, entrepreneurship, finance, anything that is in that realm, those are great classes to take. They're not required by any means, but if you have access to them, definitely take them. And if those end up being some of your better grades, those could be used in your admission calculation to the university. And that's specific to Edwards as well. So some of the other programs might not look at those classes as part of your admission calculation, but for business, if you're taking business related classes in high school, we'll definitely consider those as part of your admission application. A day in the life of an Edwards student. Pre-COVID, we are lucky enough to have our own building on campus at the U of S. So the Edwards School of Business is its own building on the far side of the campus, pretty close to the river, beautiful space. And the majority of classes that you take as an Edwards student are commerce classes, and the vast majority of commerce classes are taught in our building. So most of the classes are in our school specifically. Elective courses you'll take elsewhere on campus, but most of the time you're in the building taking classes, going between different floors, study spaces, and so it does feel, you get to know everyone, see all the same faces all the time, you're all taking the same classes, you recognize people right away, you're making friends. So it's a pretty tight-knit community in that way. Typically, most Edwards classes are either Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday. We do have some classes that are offered on Fridays, but not a ton. So most students are in class Monday through Thursday. And then Fridays are kind of group work days or presentation days, or a day to kind of get caught up in all of that work. During COVID now, all of our course instruction has moved online. So we're offering our commerce classes by remote delivery. So that means that there's it's all online, but there is opportunity to still connect live with your instructor, whether that's at a scheduled class time or at other times the instructor has indicated for Q&A or to get extra additional help, that sort of thing. And the online platforms have changed a little bit too. We started using Blackboard, now we're using Canvas. But it's all accessible through the university, and lots of supports when it comes to technology and making sure that technology is working and that students are able to access all of their class information online and through the different web portals. So it looks a little different, but we're still trying to maintain that whatever it offers in all of our classes. Chose the U of S. I'm originally from Regina, so I moved to Saskatoon to go to university, and it was fantastic. I would never change a thing. It was a journey, don't get me wrong, but it was so much fun and really transformative. I discovered a lot of things about myself and about what I was interested in that I never would have otherwise. And the beauty of being on campus at the U of S is that everything is so connected. By virtue of how the university is just laid out in the buildings that surround the bowl, and everything is kind of in the middle there, and you're in the midst of it all. But then you have all these schools and colleges that can offer you specific opportunities to really get into different subject areas or learn about different subject areas and take classes from all of the different colleges to really figure out what it is you're most interested in. And that's really the beauty of Edwards and the Bachelor of Commerce specifically as well, is that you have the opportunity to not only take business courses, but electives in different subject areas. So you're really able to complement that knowledge. And then we also offer 2 certificates that students can take. And that was the nice thing, I feel like, especially for like being a former arts and science student, that's something I probably would have done if it was something available to me at the time. Because these certificates you can take with any U of S degree. So we have the certificate in business, the certificate in entrepreneurship are really excellent complements to any other degree program that students are in. So lots of really great opportunities, but I've always loved the U of S. I've been on campus for a long time. And I always tell students, like, I found a way to stay. So it's great. I was convinced that I was going to be pre-pharmacy, just like every other first-year student. So I came to the U of S wanting to pursue pharmacy. Came into the U of S, started first year, promptly failed organic chemistry, Chem 250, loved the lab, failed the class, wasn't great. Took that as a sign, probably needed to change things up. Discovered that I liked political studies, and then discovered the public admin program that still allowed me to take classes. Like the business classes were awesome. I loved those. In another life, I probably would have been a business student. But I found public admin was sort of the best of both worlds in that sense. I was able to kind of balance what I was interested in. And then it took me 7 years to finish my degree. And I actually hadn't graduated yet when I got shoulder tapped to fill a maternity leave for a recruitment officer at St. Thomas More College. I had been working as a student ambassador for recruitment since the summer after my first year of university. So I'd always been working in student recruitment in some way throughout my entire time at the U of S. And when I was working as a student assistant, taking the last 2 classes I needed for my degree, and this opportunity came up, and they're like, hey, this would be a really good fit for you. We think you'd be great at it. I was like, okay, sure. I mean, I have these 2 classes to finish. I don't have any other plans, really. Why not? And it just sort of, it happened very naturally from there. And I discovered this. I've always loved the U of S and talking about it and sharing why it's great and telling people all the opportunities that are available always came very naturally to me. And I've been able to turn that into a career. So from there, I did 5 years as a student recruitment officer, specifically for St. Thomas More College. Then from there, I moved to University Central Unit for student recruitment and did a season recruiting there. And then I applied for the job with Edwards. And at Edwards, then I was able to also get more into academic advising. I'd started doing some advising at STM, and then that wasn't really what was happening with Central and recruitment there. And then now at Edwards, I'm able to do both. And that's been an incredible opportunity to be able to recruit students and do academic advising and really help them throughout that whole initial part of making that decision, figuring out where you want to go. Okay, now what do I need to do? I apply, what does that look like? And then in the first few years, kind of figuring out, then what classes do I take? What am I studying? What does that mean? So it's a really cool way to help students through that first part of navigating university and what that's going to look like for them. Not be afraid of what your average is coming out of high school. I get a lot of the time when I'm talking to students like, oh, but my average isn't good enough. I won't apply. Still apply. Even if you think your average is on the low end or you feel like you won't do well enough or whatever it is, still apply. If you don't get in, that's okay. You can still start. We have a lot of students that start in other programs at the U of S and then transfer back to Edwards. And then to take advantage of any opportunities they have in high school to do a little bit of business learning, whether that's through classes in their high school or different opportunities available specifically to high school students. So like opportunities like what SIEC is doing with the career exploration, or this SBTA, the Saskatchewan Business Teachers Association. They host a business case competition specifically for high school students that you just have to get a group of your friends together and get a teacher to agree to supervise you. Like, you don't have to have like a business club or something like that set up. Getting involved with junior achievement is always a good opportunity if that's something that's available to you in your school. And then we also offer a dual credit course that's specifically for high school students. So it's an opportunity when you're in your grade 12 year, you can take, so it's a dual credit Com 101, and it's Introduction to Business 30L is the high school credit that you could get. It's exclusively for Saskatchewan students. You do have to be going to high school in Saskatchewan to do it. And it's taught online, so it's always been offered online, even before COVID and all of that. And you would do it online in your grade 12 year. And if you complete it, it's Com 101 is the university equivalent, and that's one of our required classes in the Bachelor of Commerce. So it's the same course that you would take if you were, at university, but you're just doing it in grade 12 and online. And so that's a really good way to figure out if business is even going to be a good fit for you. Doing Com 101 is a pretty good snapshot of what it is to study business, and especially in the way that we approach business from Edwards. And if you complete the course and come to Edwards after high school, there is a scholarship available to students that actually then covers the cost of the course. So it's a really, really good opportunity.